It's Tuesday. You probably saw that by the title card that I have. I didn't film at all yesterday because I didn't want to. I literally don't know what I would have updated you on. No. I'm hoping to read three books this week, and I already finished one of them, which I know boo me for not really showing it before today, and I've already finished it. I finished looking for Alaska. Yes, it still has the half price book sticker on it. Yell at me all you want. I don't really care that much. This is 222, 21 pages. 221 pages. Let me tell you, I think this was published in 2005. You can tell it was published in 2005. It's definitely out of date. Out of date stuff, not like references, but just like terms that are used, and also just some of the things that are said are like kind of iffy. Gave Looking for Alaska by John Green. By the way, this is my first ever book by John Green. I gave this 3 stars. It was going to be 2 originally, and then I really liked the ending essay, I guess you would call it, in this book. I mean, basically, it's just about these group of kids, the character that we follow, him kind of finding people who accept him after kind of throughout his entire life being bullied and not really having friends. And then he finds this group of people and he really meshes with them, and they're in a private boarding school that you have to have like a scholarship and stuff to be in. I'm gonna be very honest, I just wanted to read this to kind of watch the TV show. I can tell you definitely like 18 plus for this book. It definitely also talks about, somewhat heavier topics, but it's like sprinkled throughout the book, and the whole like plot of this book is kind of very dark about grief and everything. And I mean, if you've watched the show or read this book, it's again a short read, 221 pages. You know, you understand that like grief is a very heavy thing, but I think personally, I liked the way that grief was described, and also kind of the realization that the character had, because the way that he was dealing with it at first was definitely really annoying, and then the way he kind of the clouds are green. Sorry, the way he kind of realizes and accepts things is very nice. I thought I was just gonna hate this dude for a while. And kind of the grief of blaming oneself, and trying to kind of find either an excuse to not be blamed, or just, kind of going insane with the guilt that you don't really deserve but give yourself. Personally, not really for me. I don't think I've read, well, I haven't read any other John Green books, but I don't really know if I will read any other ones. But anyways, you can probably guess the other book, the audiobook that I'm listening to this week. Of course, after last week, I continued on the series. I don't know what the series is actually called. Moved on to the second book in whatever the series is called, The Thief's Daughter by Jeff Wheeler, which is the second book after The Queen's Poisoner. And I was reading like it was kind of the prologue of the book, and talked about marriage of Elizabeth, and I was like, what are we talking about? There was a time jump. And let me tell you, I was kind of hoping for like him and Elizabeth, and like him learning to fight in the struggles of like morals and stuff, and kind of being confronted with fighting for a king that, has done this stuff to his family, and then also like discovering more of his powers and stuff. No, he's just 18 now, and we're following him, going through all this court stuff, and also now we have a love triangle, which I guess I'm getting Jeff Wheeler's address, because last time I said if he does anything to Elizabeth and Owen, I'm going to show up at his house. Apparently, I have to now, because he's setting up a love triangle and something that's very stupid. It kind of very much reminds me of Robin Hobb's story between oh no. Oh my gosh, why can I not remember his name? He's literally the main character, and I love that story. Oh no. Hold on. Fitz. Fitz, that's who. Oh my gosh, I didn't even need to look at the back of that. Go in, please, for the love of everything. Okay. Fitz. It reminds me of Fitz, and I forget her name. Their love story. And if it ends the same way, um, how many more threats of violence can I make before it becomes extremely uncomfortable? And then for some people, the reason that they might have clicked on this video because they saw it in the thumbnail, I am also reading on Kindle Unlimited because I the Poppy War series. Well, one, I wanted a break in between Babel and the Poppy War just because they're very like the Poppy War is supposed to be really dark and Babel was kind of dark. Like, I'm expecting like real like heavy darkness from Poppy War. So, I'm expecting for Babel to be kind of just the tip of the iceberg of what I almost just said N.K. Jemisin. Sorry, I've been thinking about the Inheritance trilogy recently. R.F. Kuang, she like apparently, I'm so sorry if I was saying her name wrong, but she just writes really dark stuff. So I kind of wanted a break in between that. And little to my knowledge, Gilded Wolves is what I wanted to read next. Roshana Chokshi. I can't pronounce stuff.
Basically, so far what I've learned from it is that there's different pieces of Babel that after it got broken and stuff, it got scattered everywhere. And then, there's different houses with different powers. And if you have a piece of Babel, it's like makes you have different powers and stuff. And there are different types of like controlling of stuff, like solid, liquid, and gases, like the different stuff that you can move throughout it. And
we're following this like string. That is quite the name.
Birthright was stolen from him. Now reclaim his rightful place among France's elite. He has to obtain the Babel fragment for the order. It is the heist that will require the ingenuity and skill of those without nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Enric. I don't know that word.
A gifted historian and wordsmith, that's his name, I'm so sorry, caught between two worlds. Zofia, a brilliant forging artist and engineer separated from her family. This rival aristocrat who needs an ally among the order. Tristan, an extraordinary forger raised at Sven's side.
I know how to say his name, but I completely forgot how to say it.
Loyal to his adopted brother's quest. And Lila, the mysterious dancer espionage artist who stole
Sven's heart in a moment of vulnerability he couldn't afford. This book already has some of my favorite tropes in it. Okay, we got found family, we got thieves, we got love story, like kind of not forbidden, but like it's gonna build up throughout the story. I can already tell you I'm probably gonna really like this book.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
And yes, it is YA, and I have been hating on YA recently, but I'm just really hoping, because I'm going into this knowing that it's YA. I think there was another book that I went into and I was just like, this is fantasy, and just did not like it. My bad, bro. I'm really hoping that I like this series. I think I've only ever heard good things about this series. I could be wrong. I could be misremembering, but it's a 3-book series. I think all of them are on Kindle Unlimited, and so, since I have a break in between the Babel and the Poppy War, I was just like, I'm gonna read that. Did I know that it involved pieces of Babel? No, I did not. I literally was like, oh, this, I've heard people talk about this. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Let me read it. And then I saw that and was like, I accidentally correlated it to last week. Yeah. So I'm gonna have fun reading that. Oh, I'm 20 pages into Gilded Wolves, by the way, and I can already tell you, if it's a found family like that, I adore that trope so much. It might actually be my favorite trope. So if it gives me any vibes of Six of Crows, it's gonna be up there for me. Okay. I will see you tomorrow. Sorry about all the rambling. How long has this been going on? 13 minutes. I'm gonna have so much fun editing this. Anyway, see you tomorrow.
Oh my god, what is that?
Hello, how are you doing? So since I finished looking for Alaska yesterday, I like basically shoved myself into reading Gilded Wolves today. And let me tell you, it's like still having trouble with some of the names because there's like very much fantasy names. Like I think Enrique, I'm not even ever be able, I'm so sorry. Enrique, and then Severn, I think is how you pronounce his name. The rest of them, Sophie, Lila, or Layla, so sorry, and Tristan. I got so many things wrong just because of the first 20 pages that I was reading, but I so sorry about that. I can definitely tell you that the romance was not at all what I was expecting. They kind of had a thing before we're introduced to them in the book, but there's like this whole thing of like, we can't be together, like, we just can't, even though, like, he's all I think about or she's all I think about, that kind of thing. And I'm gonna be very honest, as much as I do like pining and like mutual but also like miscommunication type things, I do really adore when it's like they're kind of their first time really ever loving each other and we get to experience that like first time with them instead of it just being like this kind of like talked about thing that's like predating all of the stuff that's happening and they're just like, pining over each other and stuff. And I mean, I'm not angry at it, but it's definitely not what I was exactly hoping for. I can't choose what an author's love story is going to be, and so far, I do like the story. It definitely is like, it is a faster paced kind of book. There's sometimes where it kind of jumps to different things in it, and it's kind of confuses you for a second. You're very much like, what just happened? Where am I? I'm guessing though that's probably only really going to be for the beginning of the book because again I'm only 100 pages in as of right now, so I'm guessing that it's going to be less of that. But so far we have found family, we have this crew, we have magical forging is what they call it, between mind and matter, so there are people who can dip into people's minds. Haven't really met that type of person that much unless I don't like him so much that I can't even remember his name, but he's kind of the main villain of this. But we had a theft that was already happened and the dude discovered that the theft happened, and now he's kind of having to go on a quest for the dude that he stole it from because all of the people that he kind of, think of like Kaz Brecker, kind of think of him where he was like the dude who came in and basically got all of these guys together as this group and kind of saved them from something, or they're there for the money and stuff. That's basically what it is. So this crew's kind of sticking together and they're really cute, honestly. I can tell you struggle with YA. Don't know why, but a lot of YA stuff just like doesn't hit me as deeply as other books do. Maybe it's just because they don't dive in like as dark as some other books do, but I still think they have a lot of ability to have darkness while also, playing on moral stuff as well. I think that that's, I'm probably going to cut this out of the video, but I do think that they're capable of that, but doing it in a way that's not only understandable for people who are younger, who the books are meant for, but also like, not kind of cutting it down to be like, you know, super cheesy and stuff. So far, I'm liking it, but not as much as I would have hoped. But again, I didn't really know what I was going into. There are some things that I don't really like, but at the same time, the story is still pretty good and it has a lot of the tropes that I like, so I'm guessing that I'm probably gonna end up loving it because, again, only 100 pages in. I did listen to, I think, like exactly 100 pages more of the Traders. Oh, The Thief's Daughter by Jeff Wheeler. I don't know why I just said that. Every single book so far, even though I've only listened to two of them, has had the thing that like in movies if you hear somebody say it, you're like but it has the title of the book in the book, and I see that in so many different books. It's not, a unique thing. I can tell you, I'm not, having the most fun with everything. It's also very, since it's like 300 pages and he has to fit an entire plot in it, again, very fast paced. Not my favorite. Wish we had more time with the characters and wish that he went into more depth with the court and different stuff that's happening and explain a lot more of it. Like, I kind of do wish that the books were longer, but again, it seems like it's a, like maybe a 4 book series. I don't know. It could be longer than that. So, I think he definitely has time to explain all of those things, and I think maybe he's leaving some of that stuff as like a mystery so that we explore along with the character, because so far in the first book and in this one we kind of are learning through Owen what's happening in the court and how things are happening, and what court policies are, and like everything like that. So maybe as Owen gets older in the stories we'll learn more about that, hopefully, fingers crossed. But anyways, we'll see you tomorrow. Because I need to go to bed.
Oh. Wow. 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 Wow.
Hello, do you like the lighting? It's for Gilded Wolves. I'm on page 200 of Gilded Wolves, but let me just, tell you about my day for a second. First off, I had this lovely ad for the Nutcracker where the rat looks like it's about to, ascend to heaven. And then, our house almost got lit on fire. I'm not going to expand more on that. I'm just going to tell you that and leave it there. So I've had a crazy day. Did I film it all in a day? No. Because there wasn't really that much interesting reading that was happening. The rest of my life, pretty interesting. I did not listen to any more of The Thief's Daughter today. I only have like 100 something pages left, and I am so close to being done with this freaking puzzle. What do I have to say about Gilded Wolves? Well, I can tell you that the romance is interesting. There's sometimes where I feel like, and maybe it's just because I'm zoning out while reading it and don't realize it, and because I'm dumb. But I feel like there's sometimes where it just feels like you missed an entire chapter, and maybe I just zoned out and didn't, like I'll go back and try to look for the context, but it's not there. So maybe something's wrong with my Kindle app on my phone. I don't know. Also, just like every 20 pages it feels like there's a new heist, a new thing, a new problem happening, and it's a little much. Like, I think that it's setting up for, well, it is setting up for this very grand kind of heist at the end. There's a fly in here. There's this kind of very grand theft at the end, and there's these little tasks that they have to do before that, but it's like she's talking about how like major and big these thefts are and like how much they really count towards it, and now we have a whole nother mystery with like this bean necklace as well and the symbolism of it, and this dude said revolution, so now we're I'm guessing there's gonna be something with that. Like it's a lot, but at the same time it's only like 398 pages, so there's not a lot that you can shove within that to like give, like, I don't know if she was writing this to where it was only one book in a series and then she later on got like an offer to write more of them, or if she even had in mind to write more of them and they just blew up and she was like, oh, okay, I'll write more. It just feels like it's kind of rushed. But that's fine because the characters are still good. The kind of romances and stuff that are being set up, and then also there's not between Severin and Layla, but now there's a different kind of love triangle that I'm seeing is gonna kind of come in a little bit. And if it does, there is autism rep in this though, which is, I wasn't expecting that. But I do very much love her character. Just the fact that she is so like serious and doesn't understand jokes and just kind of undermines and makes other people's joke look stupid because she takes literal meanings to stuff. And I could be wrong in saying that she has autism, but also just her background is like one of the sadder ones in this book. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Also, I'm having so much fun looking like a grape for the Gilded Wolves. So anyways, see you tomorrow with these. This might be chopping off the top of my head. Well, first off, I did two horrible sins today. I finished my puzzle, which has missing pieces, and if that bothers you, you look away. But it has lost pieces because we tried to do the puzzle before, didn't put all the pieces back in the box by accident, not purposefully. So finished that, didn't listen to any of The Thief's Daughter while doing that, but Also, really sadly, and this is like, I'm gonna be very honest, I haven't really had motivation to do anything today, so who knows, maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and want to do everything. I just kind of want to DNF Gilded Wolves. And I think that there's people who love and hate this book. I mean, it's just so fast paced and it doesn't feel like the characters are getting built up enough. I only on like 227 though, so again, I don't have everybody's full story, but it's just kind of dumped onto you and then you don't really fully see all of that happening afterwards, and it's just kind of it's just I don't really I'm not in love with it as much as I thought that I would be. It's just a little too fast paced and I just haven't really had that good of experience with YA. I will try tomorrow to read more of it, so maybe I will finish it this week. I just don't have high hopes for it. Uh which if it's your favorite book, I completely understand why. But for me personally, not really going to enjoy it as much as, if I had this, like, I would say after I read, like, Six of Crows or was still kind of reading YA fantasy type stuff, which I know I sound so annoying being like, well, it's YA, and I just really haven't liked YA recently. It makes me sound like I'm trying to be superior to YA girlies. If you like YA, honestly, I really wish that I didn't cringe at some of the things that are in it. That's just me personally. I just really like darker stories, like grim dark stuff. I say as a lot of the books behind me have like very silly things, but they just like the universe and everything within like adult fantasies just I don't know, I adore it, and there are certain YA books that I really do love. The Renegades trilogy by Marissa Mayer, absolutely loved that. I'm saying that I haven't really been liking YA recently because I've read some like YA that I don't personally really love, which is really sad, but I mean, I can't control whether or not I'm gonna like something that's already been, in this book and got hyped up. If it's just not for me, it's not for me. And it really does suck when everybody else loves something and you don't. I swear I'm not trying to be quirky. I literally just, it's not, some of the tropes and stuff, just the way that some of it's written just doesn't capture me as much as other books do. So, anyways, I did order a Frankenstein puzzle and some glue, so I'm going to like some glue for puzzling. That sounded so weird. So I'm going to probably listen to the rest of the Thief's Daughter. There's a piece of hair in there. The rest of the Thief's Daughter and finish that. So I'll have 2 books done this week. I will try and keep reading more of the Gilded Wolves because I feel like I need to give it more of a chance, especially because today I just had really no motivation to do anything. I didn't feel good today, so I'm not gonna, base my opinion solely on today of Gilded Wolves. I'm gonna try and read more of it. I'm gonna give it a fair chance, and I'm gonna say if I get to 270 and I'm still not digging it, I will stop reading. Anyways, I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully when I have my Frankenstein puzzle, because I'm very excited to build that and listen to my audiobook.
Bruh.
Hi. This is me ending out this video. It's Sunday night. Literally like the night before I post this. So I didn't finish either of the books other than Looking for Alaska, and I'm sorry about that, okay? Didn't finish The Thief's Daughter by Jeff Wheeler or The Gilded Wolves either by Roshani. So sorry about that. Yeah, I genuinely had so much motivation on Monday, and then by Wednesday it was just all gone. So, yeah. is a sorry excuse for an ending of it, but I kind of wanted to say that I think that the reason I wasn't fully in love with Gilded Wolves is because the characters don't really get enough time to settle and sit with their backgrounds, and we get maybe one page of kind of their background, and haven't really, so far as I've read in it, but I don't really know how much more you can give into it, because it's just their whole background isn't really explored enough, and I'm very much a character person, and I think she has set up for amazing characters. And I think that if I were to finish this book and maybe start the other ones, I would have a good time with it. But as of right now, just because I have other books that I want to read, I am DNFing it. I am going to try and finish up The Thief's Daughter next week, so look out for that. I'm also starting the Poppy War next week, or the next week from when you see this video. For me, it's this week. Uh, but I'm sorry, okay? Anyways, yeah. Bye. Like and subscribe, bestie. See you later. And come back next week, please.